Pursuit of what others have is a path of emptiness. Go ahead. What are your thoughts about what's being said?
Pursuit of what others has have is a path of emptiness.
Hmm.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, I think everybody has to walk their own path. Just like I feel like when it comes to including people in your life, um if you care about somebody, make sure that person cares about you too before you include them. Because what I find is that a lot of people include people in their life that have no business being in their life. And I see this on the outside looking in, and I'm like, I know that's your cousin, maybe even your brother, but those are things that I have observed as an older adult. Um, I agree with what David Banner said, but you have to listen to the key points. Is like the people that care for you or the people that you care about. Make sure they care about you too. And as far as following other people's path, I've never been that person. I'm always going to do what I want to do that's good for me. And if I'm with someone, what is good for us and the child that I brought onto this earth. Um, Reaching for other people's goals and be like, oh, that's relationship goals. I mean, I think it's weird. I think you should do whatever makes you happy in this life. And you have to figure out what that is alone, and then you find someone with common interest. Hopefully you have the household that helps you explore your life and figure out what that was young. And once you do that, y'all do what you want to do because nobody making it out of here alive. So make sure you're happy while you journey, and that's the way I see it.
Is there something really wrong with comparing? Because would you say that people do that anyway? Because how else will we know what's there to do if we wasn't comparing? Whether you've read books, whether you look at it on social media, whether you've witnessed it in your family, isn't that what we like how we measure on as far as what we define as happiness?
Measuring, comparing, and following somebody else's path is totally different to me. You can use checkpoints, spot points, red flag points, but um, looking at other people, obsessing over other people is a waste of time to me. Now, when it's on the back of when you have to go out of your way to do that, yeah, it's a waste of time. It's weird. If it's something that you know that you've been raised by and it's naturally in your body to understand it, oh, my parents did this. This is something that I like. This is something my parents did that I didn't like. That's comparison. Being and relating yourself to people that you do not know, I think that's the weird part that I don't get about that generation or even social media. I don't get it.
Go ahead, Viz. Now you got your finger up, and then we'll go to Luis.
Uh, I think that measuring and comparing is the same thing. I think it's the way that you perceive it or the way that you look at it. Right. You can go to a third world country. Right. We see it on TV and whatnot. We see it in commercials. But to actually go over there and see how people are living, uh, to me, that's a clear moment to where you can compare and or measure and say, thank you, thank you, Lord. Thank God that I'm not in this position. Right. However, at the same time, we can also say that comparison is the thief of joy. Right. And that can be true. But in both ways, it's the way that you look at it. Because just as JR stated, that is a way for us to um, maybe create a standard or have a standard for ourselves or a baseline as to what it is that we will accept and won't accept. So I think that's one of those things where you have to have a healthy balance of understanding how to compare and or measure the things that you see, because that keeps you alive. To be aware is to be alive. That's something that we say on the street. So it is. I think it goes hand in hand.
Don't you think that it's important to note your resources though? Like, you go from encyclopedia or the History Channel or whatever to Wikipedia. I think a lot of people are out here wikiing when they should be somewhere in an encyclopedia. If you know what I mean, like the source of your comparison, if that is something that is absolutely necessary, make sure it's firsthand comparison, like you just said. That's all I was saying. I just think it's weird to look at other people that you do not know and to compare yourselves to them when you're only getting a piece of the story. That's all. Like, it's in following other people's past. Like, I'm gonna do exactly what that person is. That's not weird to y'all. That's like the literal movie Single White Female. Like, that's weird to me. Everybody has their own path.
I don't think that is weird because, again, as they say, there's nothing new under the sun. So the path that this person took can be the very same path that I can take. For me, growing up, I was into movies, right? My mom used to go to work. She'll leave us at home. The only thing that we did at one point was be in the crib with a carton full of movies, and we watching them motherfuckers all day. So for me, when I used to watch Arnold Schwarzenegger or Sylvester Stallone, it was like, man, these mugs is cold. I'm gonna be just like that when I grow up. You know, those were additional role models for me to, I suppose, compare my future self to. But when nobody has that future self to look or to compare themselves to, then I think that's when you create a generation of lost people that don't know what they want to do.
I get it. And wouldn't you agree? I'm sorry, I'm making sure. Wouldn't you agree that at some point for you that stopped?
No,
You don't feel like that was like childlike behavior?
not at all.
Okay.
My 30 my 38-year-old self now, um I'm looking at men that are 60, 65.
Okay.
Well, what type of life are they living? How is it that they play a factor in their family, to their community, their society? Those that's what I that's how I find my path, but still be able to create my own path, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Because
no,
now,
I get it.
yeah,